Hello, welcome to a new video journal. Today is Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026, and we're here. I uploaded a video, but it was from May. I recently uploaded a video, it was from May. So that was from, I think, May 13th or 14th. And so now we're like well into June and we're back. So yeah, I have went back to ginger. So I'm a ginger again. And I'm not going to lie, I was kind of like in between feels because I was just like, I want to keep the health of my hair. And so I don't know if I should, dye it ginger. But honestly, I would say that taking the black out of my hair, taking out the box dye black out of my hair has actually reversed. So it's made my hair a lot more healthier, a lot more soft now. I am back to like the natural feel of my hair. It's kind of weird. I didn't bleach my hair. I didn't do anything like that. I used the high L'Oreal color carper, and then I use 40 volume developer, and I keep it in for about 20 minutes. They say keep it in for 30, but I keep it in for about 20. Even sometimes a little less than that. And so I would say the integrity and the health of my hair is still intact. Thank the hair gods, because I was just like, I'm one more dye away or one more change away from doing a whole big chop. In my last vlog, I had like the Bantu knots, and so last month I was really into just rocking my natural hair as it is. I was just embracing the state of my hair and just enjoying who and what I am, without the extensions. And so speaking of that, all of that, who I am and what I'm doing now, of course the train is gonna start, right? Anyway, so bear with me. I just got off a 12-hour shift. I'm pretty out of it. I'm pretty tired. I've been up actually since 4:30 this morning. So I've just had an extremely busy day, but surprisingly it wasn't too hard. It wasn't too bad. So I'm thankful to be here right now. So yeah, so in the last video I talked a lot about shifting gears, pivoting, change, growth, and entering a new season, being excited for this new chapter that I'm in right now. And I have been working at my new job. I'm not a teacher right now. I've been working at my new job. I'm like a month and a few days in. Okay, disclaimer, I am still very thankful for this opportunity. I am still thankful for this season that I'm in. I think that growth isn't always going to be beautiful. You're going to have moments where you're grieving. And I think that I'm at this stage where I'm thankful, but I'm also grieving parts of me, grieving a life that I used to have, grieving the time, just having the luxury to be able to pour a little bit more into myself, into my children. And so I have not been the happiest. However, I know that in each season of your life, it's not going to be glamorous, but you want to embrace it as much as possible. And I think that now I'm on the cusp of starting to embracing just like everything that has happened well into the month. So yeah, so like I pivot careers. I work 60 plus hours a week. I am consumed most of the time by my job, and that is something that I mentioned, where I want to be able to find a balance where I am able to pour into my family and also pour into myself, and not allow my job and my, hustler mindset consume me. And so, God has a funny way of like slowing things down and sitting you down. And so I recently had just like a minor setback, nothing crazy or whatever. I've dealt with this condition. Sometimes I get like flare ups, and they lead me into the emergency room. Not necessarily like a life or death type of thing, but I go to the emergency room. I get a procedure done, and I'm usually on bed rest for like 2 to 3 days. This time, like I said, because my job is very demanding, being like, since I'm not a teacher anymore, I'm kind of used to a slower pace, a more understanding and open um, type of demand. Being a teacher, you can take off whenever you want. Things are always happening outside your personal life. So, like, the boss, your principal, doesn't, write you up for not coming to work, or like having an emergency last minute, or just, hey, I'm not feeling good, like just having a sick day or a mental day. I'm so used to that. So with this job, any type of emergency, any type of anything, leave, taking off, anything, they have like these very strict strategies and like steps that you have to go through. And so luckily luckily, even though like I was fine, and like I did like went to the hospital, got the procedure done, I was fine on my way back home, I was still in a lot of discomfort. And the doctor told me like, hey, like maybe you should take like a day or two off, but I didn't listen. And I was just like, oh, like we've done this so many different times, and I've just got back to it. But I went to work the next couple of days, and I was in a lot of discomfort. I wasn't in a lot like pain, but I was just like uncomfortable. And I really pushed through to the point where, my body, mind, and my spirit, by the end of the work week, it was just like, you need to relax. And so just some of the things that I want to mention is, as an adult, the world demands all of us all the time. We all have these very like high demanding jobs. No matter what you're really doing, in corporate America, or, whatever it is that you're doing, it requires a lot of you. And sometimes as adults, we don't know how to find the balance of taking things slow, being present, and still working so hard. A lot of us are burnt out. A lot of us are tired. A lot of us are sick, and we don't even know it. A lot of us overextend so much, and we're so consumed by hustle culture. We're in survival mode. We're trying to reach certain goals in life, where when God tells you to slow down, you need to listen. And so last week, I kind of just told myself, there needs to be a balance. I'm not going to kill myself over this new job. I'm not going to consume myself over this new job. I'm very thankful. I know that this opportunity is going to open doors for me. However, if there's opportunities to take off. If there's opportunities for like VTO or just vacation or whatever the case may be, just taking advantage of your time as much as possible, because these like America, corporate, just how life is in general, they require a lot of you, and you want to make sure that you have pieces of you. And so I think the last couple of weeks I have been sad because I feel like that is just all me. But now I am feeling like a lot better, or I would say a little better, because I'm able to find the balance in it all. I'm able to I'm really starting to get into a rhythm where my performance at work is still good, and then I still have time at home to just pour into myself, into my craft. And so I'm very thankful for that. Where I do feel things shifting. We're a month in this whole new journey this season, and I do feel things progressing. And so with that being said, I have been tired more than anything. But at the same time, I am still inspired. I started painting again, so I have like while I'm at work or whatever, like I'm thinking about a lot of paintings, I'm sketching things during my break or whatever. And so I'm still keeping that whimsy, and I think cuz like I had a conversation with my sister, and as adults, like, of course, we have major responsibilities. We need to take life seriously as possible. And I do. I think sometimes I'm a little bit too hard on myself. But I think that it is so important to keep the small joys in your life. It's really important to keep the whimsy in your life. Because if you don't have it, who are you? Who are you outside of your accolades? Who are you outside of your success? Who are you outside of your job? You know, what is it about you that makes you you? And you don't need the world to validate who you are, you know? And so I've been making sure that I lock that in. Even though I barely have any time to sketch, but the time that I do, let me just jot something down. Let me just, scroll on Pinterest for a little while during my break, or like just keep it alive as much as possible. So, yeah, like with all of that being said, I think that when you enter hard seasons in your life, whatever it may be, it's so important to keep a little corner of yourself. Even if it's not a lot, keep a little corner of yourself. Make sure you carve out that time to just fully pour into you. And that is really all I have to say. I am proud of myself for being able to go through many seasons and plant seeds and water my garden and see parts of me bloom, and then also see parts of me die and be reborn again. I think that this is a very special season because God is teaching me how strong I am. God is teaching me how powerful I am and how capable I am to push through. There's a lot of things I felt like I couldn't do, or I just didn't have the capacity to do. And every day, God teaches me just how resilient and brilliant I am. And I don't need anyone or anything to validate me or to reinsure me. I have that reinsurance within myself, and God reinsures me every day. And so, you know, this yet again, I'm still pivoting, I'm still grieving, I'm still growing. This is still a hard season in my life, but I'm proud, and I'm happy that no matter what I'm going through, I'm still able to carve out some time for me and just only me, whether it's just music and I'm dancing in my room, whether it's me, journaling, coloring, painting, doing my hair, going for a walk, eating my favorite meal, just enjoying the quiet, just enjoying my space. I love that for me. And so when you feel like you can't go, you feel like you don't have any more energy in you, you keep going. When you feel like you just want to give up and you want to stop. And I know it's so cliche, like nobody's here to preach at all, but like I'm telling you, it has been one thing after the next. It's not just settling into a new career. It's not just settling into a new pivot and change into my life. There has been so many different things that have happened that have broken my heart. But I still keep going. I choose not to talk about everything, on YouTube, even though this is my ministry. Certain things are still private and dear to me. So just know that it's not about me preaching. It's about just me sharing my testimony, sharing, my perspective. And so with that being said, I'm going to try to paint. I can't promise. Cuz I probably want to paint with a clearer mind. If anything, I may draw. But anyway, with all that being said, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video journal. Bye.